Hi Drito, it's the 15th of August 2012, and if the title didn't reveal it, I'm talking about results. Tomorrow is results day, probably the most important day of your life so far. It will determine so many things you can't even imagine. It will definitely determine what university you get into, and it probably could determine your career and what your future is going to be entirely. They're probably even more important than next year's results, since this is what your offer is going to be based on. Next year is just a thing that you need to achieve, but this year is what they're going to see, and if you don't do well, you're not going to get in. So I'm pretty sure you know how important these results are, but the thing is, I don't think you do. You should have worked so much harder than you did. You thought your natural talent would take you through the exam, and they partly have, but you also need that extra work too. You're going to bed late the night before an exam, and you were relaxing too much a couple of days before an important exam. However, hindsight is 20/20, and saying those things, I don't think you did too bad. Maybe you're just aiming a bit too high. Those silly mistakes every so often will cost you your 100%, but they won't cost you your A-star. I think it's more of wanting to succeed than doing badly that makes you feel this way. After vlogging for exactly 2 weeks now, I realised it's a pretty good way of venting out frustration, so here goes. So I'm sorry if this video lacks structure, because honestly, I currently lack structure. It's not so much I'm worried or even scared of failure, I just don't want to fail. I think it's because so far you haven't failed anything. Yeah, technically, grade 5 piano, you failed by 3 marks, but that was because you had to take it a month early due to unforeseen circumstances. And yeah, you could have got better in your GCSEs, those 3 A's weren't great, but it's not too bad, to be honest. However, I should probably correct myself in saying you haven't failed anything important yet. You do everything yourself. Of course, family and friends help, but it's your mental power that allows you to do all the things that you do. Because let's face it, though you are physically skillful, you aren't really physically strong. But the thing is, mental endurance isn't going to help you now, and that's all you have. You need something else, something extra. But first, let's assess the issue. You're feeling so down at the moment because you really don't want to fail. You want to get those grades because the feeling of not getting something you deserve hurts you so much. You feel that though you're not the best in mathematics, you're still good enough to where you want to go, Cambridge. The funny thing is, your grades might not even matter. They might look at your other things, and your grades will probably be decent enough to get in anyway. So why are you so worried about this? Basically because you need every advantage you can get, and those small advantages are slowly slipping away from you. You knew this straight after your Advanced Extension Awards mathematics exam. Why did you have to panic on that day? Why couldn't it have been any other day? Why couldn't it have been during preparation, or the day before, or just the day after even? Why did it have to be that specific day? You didn't have this feeling till yesterday night. Maybe it's because you never had any time to think about it. Maybe it's because you had those exams while you were still in school, because study leave doesn't cover the maths exams because they're so late into the term. After school was finished, you went to 14 Peaks, and then when you came back, you've had something to do every minute of every day. And I know for a fact that people are having a much worse time thinking about their results, and people in general are having a much worse time in their life. But to be honest, I don't really care what other people think at the moment. This is my life. It may not even decide your life. Maybe you'll be a great mathematician without getting to Cambridge, but why take that risk? I honestly want to just punch my previous self in the face and say, work harder and stop making those stupid mistakes. It's not as if I didn't try hard enough, it's just that things didn't go to plan, as they rarely do in life. I made such stupid mistakes. How could you misread car as trailer? I'm just performing a conversation that's been running through my head about 1,000 times today. I just want to get it onto camera. Just don't want to do those stupid things again. As I was saying before, with all your intelligence, with all your wisdom, with all your arrogance, with all your higher knowledge, how could you still make such stupid mistakes? Why do you still have to feel this way when you know nothing you do now will affect your results? Maybe it's just that. Maybe it's the lack of ability to change your results that makes you feel this way. And that's an odd thing to experience since you are a determinist. Perhaps it's a good thing. Perhaps it's a way to get off your high horse and say, yeah, you're just human. You're not a god. But I can't face that fact. I can't face that I'm normal. I can't face that I'm just an average person. I have to be beyond that. I want to be remembered for all time, like all those great mathematicians, like Newton, Einstein, Gauss, Euler, Fermat, Euclid, even Pythagoras. All these great mathematicians. Why can't I be like that? I want to leave this world with more than just a scratch. I want to leave it with a gaping hole. Future Drito, you're probably just laughing at me now, because you already know what's going to happen. You already know the ending, and I'm just simply a pawn in this game of life. Also, before I get, if this video is over 4 minutes and or I don't upload a video tomorrow, no punishment. The thing is, you're not even sad, you're happy. You know, regardless of what happens, you're still an awesome person. You know, regardless of what it says on that piece of paper, you are intelligent and you can do maths. But do the professors know that? And more importantly, do the professors care? I don't see why they would. For maths, it's just how good you are, not how much you want it. But I just want to be you now. I just want to be future Adrito. But what fun is there in reaching your goal without having the journey in between? Maybe it's the struggles that make a man who he is and not the final outcome. Philosophy aside, you just want your results. I was watching a document yesterday on some South American tribe, not the Aztecs, but something like that. But anyway, they were a 3,000-year-old civilization, but they didn't have science. And they were taken over by the Spanish as soon as they invaded, pretty much. And their entire civilization perished within about 50 years. So an entire civilization just wiped off the map. You are so insignificant. You are tiny, Adrito. There's the entire world, the entire universe. So why do you care so much? But you are your life. You are everything. Without your brain, nothing else exists. But for now, just man up and get over it, Adrito. Originally, before I went through all this emotion, I was going to just make a standard result video and just say what I think I was going to get. So I may as well put that in anyway. I still think I'm going to get A star for maths, and so I'll probably get an A star prediction for further maths. For physics and chemistry, I'll probably just get an A, but that's the highest you can get for AS level. AEA wise, you saw the boundaries and they're pretty high this year. You might have got a merit, but I don't think you did, to be honest. It'll be a good surprise if you did. You're kind of on that borderline of like 55, 56, and 56 is the merit mark, so hopefully you'll be lucky and you can get that. So it was nice having this conversation with you, Adrito. But yeah, I'll either see you tomorrow or on Friday, depending on how I feel. See you then.